My neighbor, Harold Grayson, turned my twin's 5th birthday into a nightmare by calling the cops over some harmless party noise. That's the kind of guy he was, nosy, self-righteous, the kind of neighbor who thrives on making everyone else miserable. From griping about holiday decorations to nitpicking parking spots, Harold was a walking complaint machine. But what he didn't know was that I had dirt on him, serious zoning violations that could bring city inspectors to his doorstep. And when karma finally caught up, it hit harder than any party ever could. It was one of those perfect Saturdays, the kind where the sun shines so brightly it feels like it's showing off. Our backyard buzzed with pure joy, kids laughing, running wild like they'd downed a gallon of soda. My twins, Emma and Liam, were celebrating their 5th birthday, and I'd gone all out, balloons everywhere, a bounce house that barely squeezed through the gate, and enough cupcakes to make a dentist cry. The speakers blasted their favorite pop hits, and I was chatting with other parents when I heard it, the sound that kills any good time. "Excuse me, ma'am." 2 police officers stood at the gate, their faces all business. My heart sank. "We got a noise complaint from a neighbor," one said, calm but firm. I didn't need to guess who. Harold Grayson. I could see him across the street, arms crossed, smirking like he'd just won the lottery. This guy lived for moments like this. Ruining other people's happiness was his cardio. The officers weren't harsh, but their words stung. "If the noise continues, we'll have to issue a citation. Turn down the music and keep it under control." I nodded, biting my tongue so hard it hurt. Emma and Liam tugged at my skirt, their big eyes full of confusion. "Mommy, is the party over?" Liam asked, his voice trembling. It broke my heart. How do you tell 2 5-year-olds their special day got ruined because some grumpy old man hates fun? I hugged them tight. "No, sweeties, we just need to be quieter." But let's be real, what kind of party survives on quiet? The music faded, the bounce house lost its spark, and the vibe tanked. Across the street, Harold gave me a smug nod, like he'd done me a favor, and sauntered inside. My blood boiled. This wasn't Harold's first stunt. When we moved in, it started small, passive-aggressive notes about my lawn mowing, disturbing the peace. Then he escalated, whining about my Christmas lights, causing a glare, like I'd installed a Vegas spotlight. But crashing a kid's birthday? That was a new low. As the officers left, I forced a smile, but inside I was done. Harold thought he'd won, but he had no idea who he was messing with. I'd spent years in property management, and if there's one thing I learned, it's that real power lies in knowing the rules better than your enemy. So, while the twins were at school, I got to work. I cracked open my laptop and dove into city records, zoning laws, property lines, permits, the works. Something told me Harold wasn't as squeaky clean as he acted. And I was right. Oh, Harold had been busy. His backyard shed? Built too close to the property line, no permit. His house extensions? Shoddy, unapproved, probably held together with hope and duct tape. And the kicker? An illegal guest house behind his garage, complete with a separate entrance. He was renting it out on the sly, no permits, no inspections, no taxes. One anonymous tip to the city, and his whole world would collapse faster than his cheap drywall. The thought of him panicking as inspectors swarmed his yard made my heart race. I could end him. But then doubt crept in. Was this who I wanted to be? The vengeful neighbor, stooping to his level? Harold had made my life hell. His yappy dog barking all night, his snide comments about how families like ours didn't fit his perfect suburb. But sinking to petty revenge felt wrong. I wanted to be better. I almost let it go, until Harold pushed me over the edge. A week later, he posted on the neighborhood app, painting me as the villain. According to him, my kid's party was a rowdy, out-of-control rave, and I was the most irresponsible parent alive. He threw around phrases like lack of respect and peaceful living, playing the hero. And people bought it. Comments rolled in. Noise has been an issue lately. That house has too much activity. We need community standards. Half these people didn't even know me, yet they were siding with him. Harold was turning the neighborhood against me, and I could practically hear his smug chuckle. That was it. Gloves off. I compiled every violation, shed, extensions, guest house, and sent an anonymous complaint to the city. 2 days later, the show began. A city van pulled up to Harold's driveway, and I grabbed a coffee, settling by the window like it was a blockbuster movie. Harold strutted out, chest puffed, thinking he could charm his way out of this. Spoiler, he couldn't. The inspectors beelined for his guest house, clipboards out, pointing and writing. Harold's cocky grin faded fast. He gestured wildly, probably spinning lies about grandfathered permits, but the inspectors weren't having it. His face turned beet red, and he started pacing like a caged animal. Then came the grand finale. They slapped a condemnation notice on his guest house: illegal, uninhabitable, off limits. Fines hit him like a tidal wave, and he had a deadline to demolish the non-compliant structures or face worse. For the first time, Harold wasn't in control. I sipped my coffee, savoring every second. Karma doesn't rush, but when it arrives, it's a freight train, and Harold was tied to the tracks. The fallout was glorious. The neighborhood app, Harold's weapon of choice, turned against him. Neighbors posted, "Anyone see the inspectors at Harold's? Heard he's got illegal structures." Then the floodgates opened. Turns out, Harold was everyone's nightmare. He yelled at my kids for biking on the sidewalk. He called the cops on me for parking in front of my own house. He reported a single mom for leaving her car out while unloading groceries. The comments were brutal. By day's end, Harold wasn't the neighborhood watchdog. He was public enemy number one. His reputation crumbled like day-old bread. A few days later, he tried confronting me while I watered my lawn. "Listen," he started, his voice tight. "About the inspectors." I cut him off. "Oh, you mean your illegal guest house? The one you forgot to tell the city about?" I smiled, sugar sweet. "Maybe don't call the cops on a kid's birthday next time." He froze, mouth flapping like a fish, then muttered something about noise ordinances and slunk away. He knew he'd lost. From then on, Harold was a ghost. No more complaints about my lawn or holiday lights. No more glares when the kids played. Emma and Liam blasted their music, their laughter filling the street, and not a peep from across the way. I didn't just win, I restored peace for everyone. The satisfaction wasn't just in beating Harold, but in knowing justice had been served, with a side of ice-cold karma. Was I too harsh? Maybe. Harold was a bully, but did he deserve to have his world flipped upside down? Part of me wonders if I should have taken the high road. But when someone attacks your family's happiness, how long do you stay quiet? I say I did what I had to. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did I go too far, or was Harold asking for it? And let's talk, how do you handle toxic neighbors? Share your stories below, and if you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe for more real-life drama. Let's keep the conversation going.